Good morning. For those of you guys who don't know me, my name's Jules. I'm the CEO here at FrontRunner. I talk to most of our clients, and this is actually my co-host.
Hey everybody, probably met a ton of you on the road, probably taught a ton of you at conventions. My name's Ashley. I'm head of marketing at FrontRunner. Yeah, looking forward to doing this. We kind of came up with this idea about 24 hours ago and pushed it out to everybody because there's a lot of questions coming in, and we're hearing a lot of interesting ideas that funeral homes are doing right now. And you know, what better thing to do than to share it and be a resource. So that's kind of where we're at and why we wanted to jump on with y'all.
Yeah, for sure. So, just to roll back, it's been about 2 weeks now since we've had to reshift and do our, remote working. It's something that as a tech company, it's really great because you have that feasibility and flexibility to be able to say, okay, team, we're all, working from home. And for us, we set up shop. We have our morning calls with our team. We do screen shares. I'm not sure if many of you have seen, but we posted a picture on social media last Friday. That's something that we do on Fridays as a cheers. So that's really cool. It just allows us to stay connected and talk and to, make sure everyone's still having a good time while working from home. So the thing that we feel is really important to bring to you today is to just talk about, kind of like what we're hearing, how some funeral homes are coping with things, maybe some, things that they're doing that you could utilize or, take little bits and pieces from. So, I think first things first, Ash, maybe you can touch on talking a little bit about how funeral homes are really utilizing their web platforms right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So basically, we know that you guys are pulling long shifts. We know that obviously social distancing impacts the funeral home from a work standpoint, but also from your families and the interaction you get to have with them. So we have some funeral homes that, they have a staff rotation set up where people are, working longer shifts. The funeral home is buying local, whether it's pizza, whether it's a local bake shop. They're just sending things into the funeral home, supporting the local businesses, because right now that's so important, right? With everything happening. We also have funeral homes that are really, really ramping up that cleanliness of the funeral home, keeping everything sanitized over and above what typically they would do. And I mean, that's amazing. It's great because it's obviously going to help with, germs of any kind. But all of that stuff does take a lot of work. So, thank you to our funeral homes, everyone who's, pulling those extra hours. We work in a 24-hour industry. And I think that's one of the things that people have to realize is, it's not a 9-to-5 kind of job for you guys. So, just thank you for everything you're doing and for keeping your cool and your patience and, working with your staff to do everything you can through any of these unforeseen circumstances. And as things continue to change, I know a lot of people are scrambling right now on how to handle, webcasting or how they can live stream and how they can help families, still participate and be there. So that's a big thing. I know we've got some clients that are doing some interesting things. I see Lenny, you just dropped in here about installing a webcam. We've definitely been recommending Facebook Live, or we have a partner, SympathyNet, that we use. Lenny, that's who you got hooked up with. So for us, it's really, we're trying to do things as fast as possible for our clients to help support you guys so that you can give those families the best experience. So with that being said, Ash, you want to jump back in here?
So with the website pop-ups, I am seeing, working with the team, I think one way to say is thank God we're set up from home because we're able to work a lot of hours. We're set up somewhere super convenient, and we've pushed a lot of website pages up. So funeral homes are basically needing to communicate with their community. And one of the things that we said is, get a page up on your website just for COVID-19 and talk about how you're operating. There is a ton of examples. We've probably done it for got hundreds of funeral homes at this point in just a week. And they're putting up details of like what to expect when you come to a service if you are one of those states or provinces that are limited to the number of people that can come. And they're talking about how they're changing their sanitizing and how they're cleaning and how they're just how things are a little bit different. So having a place to link up to really helps you with, you know, having a place, especially if you're on social media, having a place you can send people to read that information. And you can update it all the time. That's the great thing about a web page. You know, it's just a page that sits on your site, and you can change it if something changes and you are now restricted even more. Or maybe something happens where you have more. You know, you can do different things. It's a great way to tell people that. So we've pushed a lot of web pages up. If you don't have one on your website right now, then just think about that, about adding that. We can totally here to help you guys, like we have been for the past week. So just let us know. We're also pushing a lot of pop-ups. So I don't know if you've ever seen it, but you know, you have a website where a message will pop up and it will say like, hey, this is what's going on during COVID-19. And that pop-up can actually link into that page you built. So it's just, again, a way to communicate. I find that there's a lot of, you know, there's some funeral homes that are doing really well with this, and there's some that are still struggling, and they don't realize that they have to jump online right now and they have to communicate online, and their website is so important. So that's something I'm seeing. Jules, I think you covered the Facebook Live and the webcasting. Is that?
Yeah. A couple things just to add to that too. In terms of like what we're seeing, a lot of people every business is scrambling right now. But one of the things that, you know, we're also seeing is people are really leveraging that online ability to have those families go and do an arrangement as much as they can, you know, whether it's that, you know, FrontRunner, we call it a quote builder tool. You know, we have the arrangement aid tool and all of these things that, you know, sometimes we put off to the side burner. Now's the time, guys. Now's the time to really, we're here to help you. You know, I was actually joking with my husband about this. I was like, you know, it's funny. I feel like I don't leave my home office. Literally, I feel like I sit here. I'm here at 6 a.m. and I'm still here at 6 p.m. And my beverage choice might change, but from coffee to maybe some wine. But the reality is that really, like, we're here and we are, you know, really trying to make sure that we do whatever we can to support you. So please, like Ashley said, you know, if you want that pop up or you have questions or whatever, just send us an email, reach out to us. However, you know, you can write us on Facebook, you can email me, you can text me. A lot of people text me. You know, we do have a question that just came in. That's something we should probably ask. So this is from Rick Chuck. Rick is one of our clients and he's asking, are funeral homes charging for webcast? And what's been the experience with webcasting during these times? So I personally have not heard that funeral homes are charging for that. If anybody is, please drop in a note to us here. Also, I have heard nothing but positive stuff. A client of ours, Callaway Smith, they are doing like webcasting, live streaming a lot, and it's really really increased, obviously given the times, but it's something that's been recepted very well in their community. So you know, I'm not sure if David or Trista are on this, but if you are, drop your feedback in the chat too. Trista is actually going to be joining us next week on our webinar, so you'll be able to hear from her perspective on, you know, how this is working for them and how it's impacting you know, their families and that kind of thing. So as we continue to do these, we're going to have some different guests join us, because it's something that we feel like is really important to keep communication open. We're big communicators and we love to help people. So that's, you know, why we decided 24 hours ago to do this. It's the same idea we came up with when we were like, hey, let's give everybody free Facebook pages if they don't have one. So you know, again, it's just because we like to help people, and you know, we're here to support you. So if there's something else that you guys need from us, drop it in this chat too. And right now, I don't think that there's a feat that's too high for us to tackle. So it seems to be that way anyway. So yeah. Ashley, do you want to talk about how a couple of our clients are doing, like what they're doing with their local communities, maybe from like a social perspective? Because I feel like that's important too.
Yeah, for sure. So we have an agency inside FrontRunner that handles like, gosh, probably 130 social media clients, and we manage the social media on their behalf. So we've seen a lot of interesting things. So I made a note with the team. We have a little chat going of where we drop in unique things that we're seeing funeral homes do. So I just want to share them with you. They may provide some inspiration for you to do maybe one of these things in your community, or may spark an idea. So one of the things that we saw last week, I think Jules, you mentioned this, but one of our funeral homes, Nye Funeral Home in Michigan, right? Yeah.
Yep.
They got pizza for their staff who are working, and they did a shout out for a local company. So it was a local pizza joint, and one of their staff was holding it, and it was kind of like a funner post, and it was kind of just nice. And they did a shout out, said thank you so much for our staff, for everything you do, and here's one of our local pizza shops delivering pizza to them. So that was kind of a nice break from a lot of the COVID-19 stuff that people are seeing out there, and seeing a face back in, which is really nice. Another one, Stark's Funeral Home. They sent, I'll actually drop this link in the chat so you guys can go check it out. But they turned their chapel into with chairs, but they can't have people. So they actually tied a white balloon with a name and message that people could kind of be there without being there. So every chair had a balloon that kind of went up a little bit higher, and it had a note on it and a name. And it was a really nice way to make people feel like they were still part of the service, even though they couldn't be there. So like I said, I will drop that as soon as Jules starts talking again. I will drop that in. I'll jump over and grab that link. So you guys can check it out. Yeah.
That's really cool. Wow. Good for them. Great job, Starks.
They had a ton of engagement on it. They had a ton of people commenting, saying, wow, this is amazing. So that was really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so just a couple of questions. So, hey, Rob from Jardine Funeral Home. He just said that they were doing spring interments and they're using Facebook Live in a private group. That's great. That's a great use of that. And, again, it's keeping business still flowing, but it's also, allowing you to still give that family a great experience. That's awesome. That's great to hear. Hope you guys are doing well too, Rob. And then we have Lenny, who just said that they have sent free lunches to all of their first responders. That's amazing.
Awesome.
That's one of the things here that people forget. Us frontline workers are working around the clock right now to try to get things under control as best that they can. So yeah, that's awesome. Way to go. Good job, Lenny. It looks like we have some other questions here too. So it looks like Pinnacle Group. So, hey, Rob, they're a client of ours, and it looks like they're considering charging for live streaming services. They don't have anything final yet, but we're looking to make up some revenue from lost in-house services. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I think that, especially now, it's about how do you get creative to still deliver, a really excellent service and experience to a family, and still find ways to make revenue for the funeral home, because that's important, right? And that's where I think this could, it can work either way, however you see it best working for your funeral home. This is where also those online arrangements, insurance assignments, abilities for people to pay their bills through the website, things like that, where there's not person-to-person contact. I feel like that would be really powerful as well. Looks like Speaks is getting ready to do this only with flowers and calling it Hugs from Home. Oh, wow. That's really cool, Christy. That's awesome. That's a neat idea too. You'll have to send us some pictures of that, or tag us on Facebook if you post any, and we'll reshare that so others can see it.
Yeah. And if anyone too on the call or on this webinar is finding new ways to recoup revenue right now, because I know obviously that is a concern, and you're comfortable sharing, you can, if you don't want to share it with everybody, you can throw it into the Q&A group, and we can just see it and not mention who you are, but share kind of what you're doing if that's of interest. I'm sure it's kind of a little bit on everyone's mind right now, while they still provide this great service, but still have to keep, take care of the business as well. Just while we get some more questions in, I can see a few coming in. I'll just share a few more things that we're seeing on social. So from funeral homes. So Smith, one thing that they did, they put it on social. They put a basket out for food and gift card collection, so people could drop off food and gift cards for locals. So it's kind of a nice community thing and a way to, still show the support I'm seeing a lot of funeral homes or funeral directors get on camera. So they're, coming on similar to this, and they're just talking about, what's changed or advice or just thoughts. And I haven't seen anybody do like a call like this. It'd be kind of neat to get to arrange like a little panel or something in a community for a funeral home on Facebook. That would be kind of cool, because I think people are also missing human interaction right now, and social media is one way that you can, still provide that and still be there with them. And it doesn't have to be just like images that are kind of done up or links, and doesn't have to be just that. It can be your faces too, and videos from you guys, because a lot of people are just missing the human side of things right now.
We just had a question come in from Tim Markham, and it says, well, will webcasting change the culture of family and friends attending funeral service? Could this lead to a preference of people distancing themselves from funeral service / life celebration services? I think my opinion of that is right now, I mean, obviously it's the preferred way for people to still celebrate and be there to support and, participate. I don't necessarily think that that's going to be a preference. I still think that, from my experience, palliative care days, I still think that it's really important for people to have that person to person contact. I know, for anyone that's a big hugger out there, giving a hug to somebody who's, going through a time of loss goes a long way. And, I still think that it will be something that, people will still want to come to those services. I don't know. What do you think, Ash?
I've thought about this. I've actually talked about it with people just on my team. I think that this is going to spark some change in some people. I do think that some people I don't think it's necessarily it will change. I think it will give an option. And I think that I've kind of said this for a while, how you operate and your marketing and your messaging, it really is about providing options. Not everybody is the same. Some person may not be able to make a service. So live streaming things or bringing people in through a remote way so they can still participate, I think is an amazing service. Not everybody lives within 20 minutes of a funeral home. And so I think that funeral homes have an amazing opportunity right now to expand their service offering and offer this moving forward. Do I think it's going to replace, like Jill said, I think there's still the element of human touch. And I think it's, again, all in the funeral homes messaging coming out of this. I think that, I think there's going to be a lot of work to be done after this, because I think a lot of funeral homes have kind of been scared of the tech side and, been scared of this advancement and this way consumers are connecting right now. Like we're connecting with, I don't know how many people are on this. I can't even see that right now, but we're connecting with so many people, and on Facebook Live, if it worked, I think I saw something and it might not have worked. I might just have to post this video, but we're connecting with so many people because of screens and because of technology. And I don't think it's necessarily a negative thing. I think it could be a very positive thing for funeral service.
Yeah, I agree. I think the balance is the key point there. Especially economics today. If you can't, be present in the funeral home or be, close by, or sometimes, there's other circumstances where somebody's ill and they physically can't be there. I think that the whole live stream webcast, letting people participate is huge. And I think that is something coming out of this that's going to be big. The perk of it is you guys are all going to be set up. So you're going to be able to offer that, right? You're going to be pros at being able to offer it. So I think that, I think that definitely there's going to be something that comes out of this for sure, like Ashley mentioned. Yeah. Looks like we have a couple questions.
Yeah.
Looks like Rick just wrote, Facebook Live in a private group. Is that the Facebook Live FrontRunner is offering, or a private group? So a private group is different than, so basically you're setting up a Facebook Live, but it's in a group. So it's private to those people in that group. It's not public. If you just do a Facebook Live, I'm not the social guru, but I think Ashley will correct me. If you just do a Facebook Live, you're going live and anybody can see it that's on your friends list, right?
Yep. Yeah. So in a group, it is a little bit, you're going to restrict for sure. But it depends on what you're trying to do with it. If you're trying to get just like a family there and, select people, then yeah, you can restrict it into a group. And, but most funeral homes we're seeing are just going live, and the response has actually been really cool. A lot of people saying like, wow, this is amazing to see. It's really neat. It's like, I have every funeral home's Facebook page that we manage physically on my phone right now, just because the responses have been so overwhelming from communities that we need all hands on deck. And it's just really, it's awesome, honestly, to see what the public is saying for Facebook Live, and kind of the change that we've been able to put in, and other organizations too that are in the industry. It's just really, really cool.
Yeah. Hey, Rick, just to answer your second question there, do the family and friends receive a password to enter the private group? It's actually you inviting them. So you have to invite them to that private group. So it's not password protected or anything like that. And if you want, Rick, just get in touch with us after, and we can get one of the girls to kind of explain how it works for you guys. Because I know that you guys do services with us.
Yeah, it can definitely help. Our team is, we do have a dedicated social team, and they're even more skilled than Jules and I on this stuff. So if you need anything, please just reach out. We are here as a resource, nothing else. I joked with my husband, who handles our support department. And I was like, I feel like we're like funeral home assistants right now from the tech side. We just kind of jump in on anything that they need help with from a tech standpoint.
It's awesome though, really.
Yeah.
So just jumping over to some questions that are coming in. So, hey, Dave. So Dave wrote a question saying, I don't know if you want to address this here or not, but instead of what was the icon to order flowers, it's now pointing to the memorial tree. Can we have it point to a local florist? So that is a great question, and we will answer it. So we do have, so as many states have shut down, so have flower shops. So we basically have the memorial tree. Again, that is big right now. It's a gesture for people to be able to show their expressions of sympathy. So it's very important. And so with that being said, if your local florist wants to still work with us and they're willing to take flower orders, absolutely. Send me an email and we'll get them hooked up for you. Okay. And get that set up. So Dave, just send me a note and I'll have our team get that back up. There's another question that came in from Brendan. Any advice on what camera views funeral homes are doing when there's an open casket? So we actually had somebody ask this question about Facebook Live yesterday. We had somebody asking if you're allowed to show Facebook Live, I think, with an open casket. Was that right, Ash?
Yeah, so we actually we went into Facebook to just check with this, just to make sure, like, we just wanted to triple check. And it was actually, we were laughing because it was kind of a weird question to have to ask a Facebook agent. But they did say there's nothing against it, but it could infringe on community rules, and it could get reported. So that's definitely something to be aware of. If you can find another view, another angle, if you can put something up maybe to block, you might have to get a little bit creative as you stream services live, because at the end of the day, it is still a sensitive topic. And while some people may be very appreciative, some people maybe may get a little bit feel weird about it. So I just think it's something that you really have to look internally of what you want to do with your funeral home, and what your comfort level is, and kind of just make a decision for yourself. But it could infringe on the community rules, just so you are aware of that.
Christy just dropped so Christy's from Speaks Chapel, and they did a live stream with an open casket during last week's service. Christy, will you drop the link to your Facebook page in here? Anyone who wants to check it out, feel free to jump in, and you can see what they did as well for another perspective. We also have a question that came in from Tim Markham that says, is there a need to have a family sign the release for an immediate, sorry, wow, I butchered that. Basically, he's asking if family members need to sign a release to take the service live on Facebook. My opinion, I would, if you can get them to electronically sign something, absolutely. If you can't, I'd get it in an email and get them to respond and say, yes, I approve of this, please proceed. I think that, Ash, would you agree? I think
I would get that sign off. I wouldn't proceed without a sign off. It's just it's a sensitive area. Again, if you need a copy of an electronic release form, please email us, or Jules. I almost just threw my computer across the room. Getting too excited about the topic. If you do need that electronic release form, please email Jules, and we will send you a copy. The copy we have, you can use it. We're not going to charge you for it. Again, we are here as a resource, so please just email us. I just saw a question too about how to get help with from the social media team at FrontRunner. Jules is going to be your main person to go through. She kind of gets everything out to who needs to jump in and help. So if you need help with anything social media related or anything at all, Jules is going to be your go-to, and she'll get you in touch with the right people on our team.
If you're a social client already, most of you have met Catherine. So Rick, I just said give Kat a quick shout out there, and she'll help you out. She definitely will answer any of those questions you have regarding your stuff, because you guys already have services with us, which is fantastic. Yeah. So another thing too, like I don't want to take up too much of your time here. I know you guys are super busy and time is obviously valuable. So a couple things I just wanted to mention. For those of you guys who saw the email come out about 2 days ago, I forget what day it even is. Yeah. It was a video, the video condolences that went out. Basically, that feature was something we've had for a long time. It was a feature that, to be honest, wasn't as utilized, but now is the time that feature is going haywire. So basically it allows you to, instead of leaving like a written condolence, you can actually leave like a video condolence. So it would be just like I'm doing now, live on a webcam. And I would be saying, you know, I'm so sorry, you know, the loss of, you know, Sally Brown, you know, sending my sympathies to the family at this hard time. I wish I could be there to support you. So you have, you know, that option, as well as the option where people can type things in, they can upload, you know, stories as well. You know, I think that it's really a really cool way for people to leave those memorials, and it leaves them for long term. It's not just right now, it's something that's available to that family for a very long time. So I think for the comfort of someone who's just lost somebody, I think it's very powerful. So if anybody is using it and has, I know a couple people had wrote me and they have already had families using it and it's been a great hit. Please share those stories with us. We'd love to hear that. Mm-hmm. We got lots of questions coming in. It's amazing. Hi, Eddie. So we have Eddie from Porticello Funeral Home, and he said that they have been using YouTube for the past year. He's asking if Facebook Live is easier, and if you're able to give the family a copy of the live. Ash, that's a question for you.
Yeah. So YouTube definitely can be used as well. It's definitely a preference thing. Facebook Lives will be accessible on your page after, so you can send a link to that directly. So that's an option. Same with YouTube, you can send a link. So it's just different networks. It's whatever your preference is. Personally, for me, Facebook is where eyeballs are. YouTube is going to be more of something, you know, it can still live there, but it's a place to send a link. It really just depends on what your goal is. If you want people to see this and your community to see this, then I would say Facebook's a great option for you. And you can push it out, and people who follow your page will actually get notified of go lives. So when you go live with a service, so that's kind of a cool thing that Facebook has. So hopefully that answered your question. We have a bunch of questions coming in. So I'm just
so,
like...
I know, it's great. I love it. Please keep them coming. Yeah. So people are asking, how do we get video condolences on our website? Okay, so when you go into any case on your website, not on the admin side, but on the actual website, open it up, you're going to see the tab memory wall. Click the condolence box and you're going to see video condolence. If you don't see it, send me an email. It might be because it's been turned on off in your system for some reason, or you may need to just change versions. So just send me a quick email and happily I'll make sure it's active for you. I also see people are asking for the release. We do have a release. Send me a quick email. Ash, could you drop my email?
Yeah.
In case, I think we have it here. Maybe if you need that release, just send me an email and I will send it back to you for you to utilize. I'll just make sure there's no logos or anything on it.
And just make sure the Facebook Live gets added to that. Just, I'm sure it is, but just double
Yeah.
check, because that's probably what they're going to be using it a lot for right now.
It says, what are funeral homes experiencing with regarding the service, and posting it to the Book of Memories page. So with webcasting, we have some clients who are just taking, like if they've recorded their service, they're uploading it after. Some clients don't want to do live. So they just dropped in the link there afterwards. We recommend you use a private YouTube page to put those services on. Or you could also use Vimeo, but we're suggesting YouTube just because you can lock it down, so it's not something that just anybody can, go in and see. And then you just drop the link in the back end of your system. If you need help with that, reach out to us and we can walk you through it. It's pretty straightforward. And once you do it once, you'll get the hang of it pretty quickly.
And any link can go there too. So if you decide to do the Facebook Live route, and you want to grab that link and throw it in the Book of Memories, it can be there too. So it's kind of any link you can drop in that you want to show a webcasted or a streamed service.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
Just one little thing, just before we jump off, we've been very busy developing things for you guys and making things more accessible and easy for you to get. But you've probably seen it if you are on our email. You've probably seen a ton of emails come out about COVID-19 tools available from FrontRunner. A lot of these you already have in your system. It's just, you don't know about them until something happens where you need them.
Mm-hmm.
So we put together a web page dedicated to pretty much everything that we have available to you. On it is also a Facebook guide for going live. So you can request that. If you're on this and you don't have a Facebook page, that's where you'll also request a free Facebook page setup. Our social media team is kind of working around the clock to make sure anyone who needs a Facebook page right now has one to be able to communicate. So you'll see everything COVID-19 tool related on this page. I'm going to drop it in the chat right now. So feel free to look through that, take a few minutes. If we can help with any of those areas, we're here. So
for sure. I also wanted to just take 2 seconds and give a shout out to our team. Like you guys, we don't work 8 to 4. We work around the clock. So I just want to give a big shout out to our entire FrontRunner team. Our crew is here to support you guys. They never say no. They're working their tails off, and we're trying to get things done as fast as possible for clients as they come in. I know some people have been emailing me. They're like, holy jeepers, you just respond like any hour, anytime. You know what, guys, we're here, and that's one of the biggest things that's unique about FrontRunner is our dedication and service to our clients. So hats off to our team. We can't do this without them, and we're glad to be a part of this industry, supporting you guys through this time.
Yeah,
this is going to make history.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll come out of this all together and be stronger. And next week we're going to do same time, 11 o'clock, we're going to jump on. I'm sure we'll have a whole new slew of stories to share and things we've seen in a week. Seems like a week is a kind of a long and short time all at the same time right now. But we'll have a ton of things, I'm sure, that comes in over the week that we'll share live with you same time next Friday. We also have, as Jules mentioned, a guest coming in from Callaway Smith Cobb, who's going to talk. She's actually going to talk about her Facebook Live setup and the equipment she's been using. And things like that. So going to be a good one for sure. And she's from Alabama. Is she Alabama?
Yeah, she's hilarious.
That's great. That's great.
It's going to be good. Yeah. Christy, thanks so much. Christy from Speech Chapels just said, remember to leave FrontRunner an amazing reviews and recommendations on their Facebook page. I appreciate that, Christy. I know you've been you're always very cheerful when we chat, and it's great, just like you guys. It's always nice to hear positive feedback from clients. It makes us feel good about the work we're doing, so we appreciate it. So thank you. I think that's it for now.